What's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're here in Las Vegas for the 2021 edition of the SEMA show. Lots of excitement. Obviously, we had to stop at the Chevrolet booth because not only do they have a variety of trucks and other vehicles here, but I think the two vehicles that are still on the show are the two examples of the Z06 Corvette. And obviously what we have for you is your standard edition Z06 Corvette 2023 model year, first for the C8. But before we get in that, let's talk a little history. When does the Z06 name come about? It happened all the way back in 1963, if you could believe that. The true father of the Corvette, the person that I think is the true father of the Corvette, Zora Arkus Duntov, decided to make a special option for those that wanted to go to the racetrack. Well, guess what? Fast forward to the 21st century, the Z06 is still in play because America's true sports car is still in play. But boy, oh boy, are things different this time around. Now, obviously lots of competition for the Corvette. There's always been that competition, but one thing that Corvette has always done has brought a value. Chevrolet wanted to bring a value and make it, that's how they make it America's true sports car, not only from performance, but at that value point as well. Now, there are some main competitors. One that Chevrolet actually used as basically a judgment point is the Acura NSX. So what I want to do is I want to jump into this standard, if you could call a Z06 Corvette standard, and find out, is this the car to buy over the Acura NSX? Both mid-engine, kind of produce power in really different ways, but let's find out what is unique about the Z06, what is so exciting, and is it the sports car to buy over the NSX? Let's go ahead and dive in and find out what our 2023 C8 Z06. Right off the bat, the color. I'm loving the silver with the red interior. Really pops, and remember that original color back in 1953, all 300 of them, it wasn't silver and red, it was white and red. Now, when you start at the front of the business, one thing you're gonna notice is you get some extra width, almost 4 inches. If life was only that easy, extra 4 inches of width, and it all starts on the front fender here. I love the way that Chevrolet actually designed the bodywork around the vehicle, and everything is all nicely painted and seamless. It's like, to the untrained eye, you wouldn't notice it at first, but you could see that extra width just on the passenger side. Now, as we drop down, that beautiful carbon fiber front splitter, not as aggressive on aero when you look at the Z07 package. If you want more aero, if you want to have that special super track ready version of the Z06, there is the Z07 package, which brings a lot of extra track performance. But in this particular option one, you're still getting that performance, but you're getting it at a little bit different price point. Now, massive corner air entry for all the heat exchangers. And if you're comparing this to the NSX, there's way more functionality. There's way more I think seductiveness, especially with the width of the car. You'll notice the carbon flash metallic. I like that. It's better than just regular gloss black. And you can see the massive heat exchanger just behind this one corner vent. Now, as we come across the front, love the way the silver highlights all the lines. Like a stealth fighter, you got that cross flags badging with the carbon flash metallic around it. That has been on a Chevrolet Corvette since day one, 1953. Interesting to think that back in 53 and 54, America's sports car was powered by a straight 6, known as the Blue Flame 6, but boy oh boy, have things changed since then. Working our way down, you'll notice more openness to the front grille. Even the center section, the way they channel air for brake cooling, this stuff has all been developed not only in wind tunnels and aerodynamic facilities, but also on the racetrack with the mighty C8 Corvette. But really love that extra width and the way all the lines come together nicely. Now, when we get up onto that front mounted trunk, you can see how everything just flows clean towards the windshield, but let's go ahead and go around the bend because that's where you're gonna see some differences. One of my favorite parts is on this corner, how it extends out, folds down nicely, really shows that attention to detail and gives the Z06 a way different look than your standard C8 Corvette. Now, when you come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. The good news is, just like the standard Stingray C8 Corvette, there's a lot of different ways you could option this. Wheels, brakes, brake colors, different colors of vehicle, interior choices, the whole 9 yards. So lots of versatility and variety in the lineup. But what we're looking at here is your more standard wheel. So you're gonna have this split spoke design, beautiful machined aluminum, 20-inch wheel up front, 21-inch wheel out back. This one has the optional carbon ceramic brake rotors. These are gonna shed rotating mass. That's gonna give you quicker steering, plus they're gonna give you more effective braking. And I think for a lot of Corvette aficionados that like to take their car to car shows, carbon ceramic brake rotors don't produce that usual heavy brake dust all over the wheels. Just one little fun fact, but I love the way you have that tomato sauce red, bright 6-piston Brembo caliper. Really gonna clamp down nicely on those rotors. And what's crazy is when you go carbon ceramic rotor, they're actually larger than the standard steel rotors on your standard Z06. Now, these wheels are wrapped in those Pilot Sport 4S tires. If you go Z07 package, you're gonna get a stickier track focus tire, but these will give you the stick and also give you some great durability. 275 on the width, nice 30 series sidewall, looking clean. And I'm glad to see an option for a silver wheel. It seems like a lot of brands only make black wheels now. Nice to see that classic silver with our silver Z06. Coming down the side, color matched on the mirror caps, carbon flash metallic. This is that coupe. And remember, when we say coupe, we're talking about them being Targa coupes. All coupes have the removable roof panel, something that's been around since early days with the Corvette. Low down below, you're gonna get that nice carbon fiber side sill extension, channeling the air. And then another thing you'll notice, I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and show you inside this opening here, is you have larger side air intakes. This has 5 massive heat exchangers, the largest ever, including an oil cooler. So the oil cooler is the largest ever made, and it's got 5 camshafts. 5. Big engine difference. This has the LT6, but I love the Z06 badge. Carbon flash metallic, nicely done, very clean design. And then out back, this is where things get really crazy. Not only are you still gonna have massive calipers, massive rotors, but you're having a tire that's 345 on the width. That means that this rear is a 21-inch wheel. It's 21 inches in diameter, 13 inches wide, just the wheel. And then you're gonna have that 345 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tire wrapped around it to give us that grip, give us that stick. We're gonna kind of fly up and take a look at that LT6 engine, the heart of the beast. Deep down inside of that engine compartment, you have a beautiful carbon fiber engine cover, other carbon fiber pieces. You have a badge in there showing the person that hand built this LT6. And remember, flat plane crankshaft, so we're looking at 5.5 liters of V8 goodness, 8,600 RPM redline with this thing. Absolutely gonna scream like no other Corvette before it. Hand built in Bowling Green, Kentucky, along with the rest of the Corvette lineup. And that's what makes this car so special and America's true sports car. Now, with that engine, it's gonna be, remember, bolted to that 8-speed, that Tremec 8-speed DCT. I'm expecting time 0 to 60 around 2.5 seconds. Of course, you're gonna have an electronic limited slip diff. We got magnetic ride, 4.0 dampers, all 4 corners. I love that technology because it gives you that nice handling when you want it, but it's also gonna give you a decent ride when you're going down the road. What you'll notice on this particular Z06 is you have the standard rear wing, which is nice because you have some color match to it, but then you have carbon flash metallic around the back edges of it to give it a nice stylish look. So not only is it gonna give us downforce, but it also gives us a great look. And then one of the changes that kind of really makes me feel good about the rear end, because that's been the zonk, the biggest zonk. There's been 2 big zonks for me. No manual transmission, that's a bummer. And the way the rear end is on the regular Stingray kind of looks like a Swish Camaro that's been pinched and then stretched. I like what they've done with these rear vents. It really changes the rear end of the vehicle, especially the lower portion, this massive rear diffuser, all carbon flash metallic with the return of the massive quad exhaust. Yes, that is a GM performance exhaust with that active valve system. You can make it quiet, keep the peace in your neighborhood, but the hell with that. Let it sing, let that 5.5 liter scream to 8,600 RPM and really just gonna make people drop their jaws as you're driving by. But You can see from front to back, you're not gonna confuse this with a Stingray Corvette. And that's one of the things over the years, like if you go back to the C4 ZR1, a lot of people easily confuse the ZR1 for the standard Corvette, but this definitely has those positions to stand out. When you're comparing it to the Acura NSX, obviously the NSX goes about it a totally different way, but wait until we get pricing for these. I think that's what's really gonna blow everybody's mind. I guess the big question is, will it be worth it with the dealer markup? But so glad to have this car here. So much excitement at SEMA. Nice to have the return of the show, especially because of the pandemic canceling it for 2020. But let me know what you think. Are you excited for the Z06? Would you go Z06, or are you gonna go NSX, or maybe even a Porsche 911 GT3? That sounds like a nice choice to me. Let me know in the comment section, but if you are new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it to the queen of the camera. She's working really, really hard. The best in the biz. Show Lori some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.